G'day folks, here's my September collection update. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. This is my September collection update, so everything that arrived in September. Plenty of new stuff, there's some new death metal, who would have guessed, some new Aussie stuff, some couple of old classics that I finally got around to getting, and some, offensive shit that I'll keep until the end, just to be on the safe side. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it. We'll start off with a batch that I got from Extremely Rotten Productions from Denmark. Bloody excellent label run by David from Undergang and a million other bands. Put out some damn fine work. So this is a split release with Dark Descent, but this is Malformed with Confinement of Flesh. This is a reasonably young Finnish band that I've had their like EPs or demos or something as well. They're pretty impressed, but this is a step up, that's for bloody sure. Really impressed with this. So much so that I bought the t-shirt. So yeah, this is death metal pretty much. Pretty reasonably straight death metal. Slight techness to it, you could say. Actually, this reminds me of Dissection in parts of all bands, and also plenty of Death, the band, as well. So yeah, they're Finnish, but they do have quite a US death metal sort of sound to them, but still plenty of Finnish as well. I don't know, there's a band that I can't quite put my finger on that this reminds me of. I think it's Decrepit Birth. No, I really like their second album, I think, Diminishing into Forms or something or other. I don't know. I just really love that album, and this slightly reminds me of it for some reason. Bit less tech, but I wouldn't say death thrash for these guys, but they're kind of at the nicer end of death metal, if you know what I mean. So this doesn't sound like horrible Autopsy sort of stuff. The loud sort of bass remains on this, which in the past, the previous EP or demo or whatever had, it was a bit distracting, but now it's perfectly melded now, I think. So, I mean, look at that bloody cover art. That's by Skvalder or something or other. I don't know. So, what do we get? Oh, fancy coloured vinyl. Very nice. And you get, nothing too exciting. Lyrics. The boys standing around looking pretty tough, although this guy looks like he's kind of bored by the photo shoot. He's like, are we done yet? Whereas this guy, I don't know what he's holding down there. Just being safe, I think. So, but yeah, this album friggin' rules. This will be in my top 20, I'd say. I've listened to this a ton. So, yeah, reason why I was that confident to get the shirt, partly for the cool-ass cover is because, I had promo of this beforehand. So I'd already listened to this a batch before I went, I'll order that one without a doubt. All right, also from Extremely Rotten Productions is Pustulant Flesh with Gurgling Pustulance. Look at that cover art. So, as you might have guessed, this is death metal. This is another release that just came out on Extremely Rotten Productions. And while I was getting that Malformed, I thought, I'll have a listen on Bandcamp. A couple of seconds later, add to cart. Why not? What the hell? Plus, I mean, I trust Extremely Rotten Productions. They always put out quality. So 5 seconds was enough to go, why not? So, unsurprisingly gory sounding death metal. Really nice sort of catchy kind of style. This is only an EP. I mean, you get like 7 songs, but it's not super long, but it's pretty bloody killer. Some really nicely twisted riffs like on Cadaver Creation. I did look these guys up on Metal Archives. I love their previous band names. They used to be called Fetus Deletus and also Putrid Abortion. So, Pustulant Flesh, it's much, much nicer, I think. What a good one to tell a mum about. Amazingly, even though these guys are Danish, there's no one from Undergang appears to be in this band, but although that said, it's on David's record label, so, and I suspect that may well be his artwork there. Logo and insert art by David Mickelson. Good work, mate. Band standing around looking tough. Old mate having a dart. That's the winner for me. And of course, I had to get the stupid coloured vinyl because, what the hell? Why not? You only live once. It's somewhat ridiculous, but I can't remember what the name of the vinyl is. It's a quality one, I think. So, and more cover art by Skvadvalder or whatever his name is. Skvadvalder. Which, is a bit gorier than the previous one. That Malformed one reminds me of, what is it? Necroscope, the book series, the vampire world. I don't know, these crazy big vampires that were the size of buildings. It was ridiculous, but bloody good series. But obviously that's a bit more zombie horribleness related. So You know what it sounds like based on this cover. Horrible and gory and wonderful. And finally, from Extremely Rotten Productions, and you would have seen this before if you've watched my, newer gore grind video, Sewer Hall with their Torso Mangled Beyond Repair, demo EP, whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah, this is horror. I love it. It's beautiful. So these guys are, what are they? Gore grind, or I think they call themselves hardcore grindcore. So yeah, it's horrible, gory stuff. There is some sort of screamed, like non-pitch shifted vocals, but there are pitch shifted vocals for sure. It's very heavy, cool ass breakdowns. Has quite a bit of the Mortician sort of caveman kind of feel to this, and yeah, this is true caveman quality, I think. Nice tape. I normally wouldn't bother buying anything on tape, but this is all this has come out on so far. But if this comes out on like record or CD, I'll be buying that one instead, I think, because yeah, a bit over tapes. But yeah, this, I love it. There's, as I said in the newer Gore Grind video, there's some sort of weird shronky kind of elements that remind me of like Skeleton of God or maybe Exit 13 or something in this as well, like just slightly odd little bits, but and there are good Mortician chuggy kind of bits. I think the title track's the Mortician-y sounding song on this. It's like, oh yeah. Well, I mean, this is only a two-piece as well. The sound they get is friggin' huge. So yeah, just really good groove to sort of blast kind of sections. I can't remember if there's polka stuff on this, but there is on the previous EP. But yeah, I love these guys. I'm very keen for an album of this sort of stuff because, yeah, I've listened to this a heap. It's bloody awesome. Next up are a batch that I got from Repressed Records up in Sydney. Excellent bloody record store. First up we got Multifission with Decomposition in the Painful Metamorphosis. This is a Chinese band, so after whinging in my, Around the World challenge about not knowing many Chinese bands, sure enough I managed to buy this one. And I do have their other album on its way as well. And yeah, this one hasn't quite sold me, I've got to say. I think I mistook these for another band. I thought they were like ridiculously over the top tech death sort of stuff, and it is sort of, but it's kind of doomier death metal, but still with a bit of tech. It's odd. All right, really nice fancy bass work in this. I'll give them that. I really quite enjoy that. But yeah, I think I heard the new album first, which will hopefully arrive next month or in October. And that one, I think, impresses me a bit more than this. But still pretty bloody good. And so it has sort of a Finnish death metal feel to it. And I mean, they do actually cover Inherited Bowel Levitation Reduced Without Any Effort, or Inherited Rowel Levitation, I still call it, after that typo on the first version of Demolish album, which is a killer song. And I don't know, they sort of do it justice, but they don't really do much with it as far as covers go. I mean, a lot of bands just, I'll play it my way and change it a bit, but this is just pretty much the same way Demolish played it, but crappier sound. But overall, this is pretty good, but I don't know, I think I need to listen to this more just for it to really sink in. I'm going to take it with me in the car to work, I think, that one always helps get me into stuff, I think. So, yeah, promising, but I am looking forward to the newer album because that does sound like a step up. So, Multifission. Also from Repressed, I grabbed this. This is a Valse with Pustulant Spawn. Lots of pus going on in this episode. This is a death metal band from Oakland, from California. This is their EP from 2020, but this is a 2024 reissue on fancy pinky white sort of vinyl or something. I got suckered by this, partly for the cool ass cover art, but also I think they name dropped Demolish in the description. I was like, oh yeah, I'll give that a go. And it definitely does have a bit of Demolish. I think is it the first song? Yeah, Repulsive Infestation has that weird angular odd sort of riffing. It's not as good as Demolish, but very little is. So this does also have a couple of the sort of thumper riffs of kind of your newer old school death metal ones like Mortiferum or Cerebral Rot or something or other. So, and I mean, I'm not surprised they're all from similar kind of area. There's no inner with this. You get like cool ass logo down the inside for some reason, but no inner. So oh well. I listened to their previous demo from 2018 on YouTube, and that sounds pretty killer as well, a bit rawer, but I might have to try and track that down. I don't know if it was on record or just tape, but honestly, this is a damn good start. But this is only an EP. It's only like 4 songs, so it's not super duper long. It's came out on Transylvanian Records, which I'm always a bit of a sucker for. So, but yeah, I assume they're still going. They don't seem to have done much. I mean, this is like 5 years old now. I looked at their Facebook. There was like nothing for the last 3 years or something. So maybe they don't use it much. But maybe, who knows? Maybe they're not too active anymore. But yeah, I was really quite impressed with this. Not sure it was worth the price for 4 songs, but still bloody killer. And finally, from Repressed, and the main reason I did the order was for this. This is Crypt Sermon with their Saturnian Appendices. So Pennsylvania, sort of traditional doom sounding, like clean vocals, heavy as hell. I mean, of course, sounds quite a lot like Candlemass and Solitude Aeternus, unsurprisingly. But yeah, so this is kind of offcuts almost. This is only an EP, so you get 2 new songs and 2 songs that were previously on Decibel magazine, like Flexi 7 inches. Of the 2 new songs are pretty bloody cool. What is it? First song, Only Ash and Dust, is quite a speedy kind of one. I do like these guys. They're not sort of too slow and gloomy. They are traditional doom, but there is a sort of almost a rock kind of element to it, or a hard rock sort of element to them at parts, especially in the vocals. That first song does have a killer thumper riff that it builds up to, and the solos on these guys are always bloody good. The fourth song is De Mysterious Doom Satanas, so it's a Mayhem cover. The Norwegian black metal band, which, Crypt Sermon are not a black metal band, so it sort of sounds like it. I don't know. I had to listen to them back to back to really pick out the exact riff and go, oh, actually, I suppose that is that main sort of riff. It actually sounds more like a Slayer cover, if anything, but they do try a bit with the weird Attila vocals, which they never get anywhere near, really. And this has actually got TT from Abigor on additional vocals, so I'd say it's him trying to do the Attila sort of style. Very red, as you can see, just on black vinyl, nothing super exciting. The band looking cool with cowboy boots. Okay, fair enough. Boring lyrics. So, yeah, this is the main reason I bought this. I mean, I really like Crypt Sermon, but it was also because I still feel stupid I missed out on buying their second album, which I can't remember the name of, and it's out of print and very expensive. So I'm very much hoping that one day Dark Descent repress that, and this is on Dark Descent Records. I should have mentioned that, but because I don't know why I didn't buy that second album. This is bloody killer. I got the 2 other ones, and this now. So yeah, bloody good doom. All right, up next is a bit of Aussie stuff. This is Parasitic Equilibrium. This is their promo 2025, which I got off their Bandcamp, which I don't know if you can still get it. They usually release very low. I mean, you can get it digitally, and there'll be a link below to check it out. But yeah, these guys are Black Death and put out a lot of stuff. So this is actually, as it says on the back, it is actually a promo and comes with a full promo sheet write-up sort of thing. So I think they did initially not release it, and it was actually just sent to labels and whatnot. But then eventually they released it, and I went, yes, bye. Nice little note from KP thanking me for keeping it underground. So, yeah, I love these guys. I've got vast majority of their stuff, and it's insane, really intense Black Death. This is actually a re-record, and yeah, they put out a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff they've been putting out of late was actually recorded a couple of years ago, but this one I think was recorded either this year or last year, so much more recently. And it is a lot of, well, not a lot, but a batch of older songs that they've re-recorded. So, yeah, I think the first song, Rejoice for All Is Lost, is a newer one, and that's got this killer steamroller groove through it, just with spurts of speed all the way through it. Cream, the next song, is just, back to the fast and nasty stuff. So this is really raging sort of stuff, screamed horrible sort of vocals, really fast. I assume this is just a CDR, but quality, I don't know if you can see that, it just says fuck off. But yeah, so the sound on this is top notch, so that this actually is an improvement in their production. I mean, not that their previous stuff's terrible, but yeah, this sounds friggin' killer. Right now, these guys are playing live these days as well, so I haven't caught them yet, but very bloody keen. So I'm hoping they book a show in Canberra at some stage, or I could travel, I suppose. I did actually just go to well, one day out of a Essence Festival that was on in Canberra recently. And I went to the first day because my knee is still, not very much fun. So there was a lot of sitting done at that gig, but I got to see Grotesque Bliss and Aglo that were both freaking killer. So I was happy with that. I'm spewing I missed the gig on Sunday, like the third day. Missed Convulsing and Contaminated and a few other bands, but oh well. Anyway, back to these guys. Freaking killer. As I said, the Bandcamp link will be below in the description, so definitely check them out. It's blistering, nasty sort of stuff, just high energy, scary. It's beautiful. All right, more Aussie action. This is Pestilential Shadows with their new album, Wretch. So this just came out on Brilliant Emperor Records. Aussie black metal from, New South Wales somewhere. I think they're down the coast somewhere. Yeah, these guys friggin' rip. This is their second album in 2 years, so their previous one, Devil's Hammer, was impressive, but this one, I think this is even more intense. I mean, they do have some sort of slower, moody songs. I think it's Despondent. It's a rather fitting name for a slower, moody song, but a lot of it's pretty friggin' raging. I really like that the bass is really audible on, I think it's the title track, Wretch, and the vocals are freaking harsh as hell. It's bloody great on, Erebus Divination. And so, yeah, I'm really quite impressed with this. I'll show you the nice little gatefold boys standing around looking tough. Yon spilled stuff on his head. And, but yeah, I think it's Cold Entropy is probably my favourite on here. It's real epic sort of sounding. And they actually get, Dissipator from Midnight Odyssey does sort of choir vocals on track 5, which is Where Sunlight Goes to Die. So, yeah, excellent killer Aussie black metal. This is pretty straight, normal sort of black metal, nothing too fancy or weird. It does come on, this is the Amber Black Marble version. I don't know how well that shows up, but limited to 120. It looks very nice looking through it. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with this one. Listen to this a batch. This is another one I got a promo of early and was like, yeah, this is nasty. I like it. So, yeah, just tough, nasty black metal. It's beautiful stuff. All right, more Aussie black metal, but not brand new by any means. This is Ill Omen with their Divinity Through Uncreation album. I got this off Richard from Facebook, so thanks, mate. Selling some stuff, so I saw this and went, yeah, I've always meant to get that album. So, yeah, Ill Omen was a black metal band from New South Wales somewhere, I think. Another coastal band, I think. This is Mitch from, like, Austere and Temple Nightside. I think it's pretty much all him on this, I think. So, yeah, this is very murky sounding black metal. It's nowhere near as nicely produced as the Pestilential Shadows, that's for sure. So it does have a bit of a kind of like early demo Emperor kind of feel to it. I really like the murky sound on this, actually. It's not raw or horrible, just harshness. It's murky, basically, is the best way to put it. Really ghastly, reverby, sort of, I don't know, kind of deep moaning vocals are really effective. Like, well, if you know what he sounds like in Temple Nightside, it's not too different, really. And yeah, I've always loved this cover. I remember seeing it back in the day thinking, oh yeah, I should get that. That looks bloody sick. And thankfully the album is bloody sick as well. So I think it's Decrepit Heart of the Shadow Sun. It's about has a slightly upbeat pace, and it's actually one of the only bits of sort of light in this album. A lot of it is slow, gloomy stuff. I mean, it's very tremolo-y black metal sort of stuff, and I think it's I sate atop the throne of 1,000 burning stars as the slow brooding pace, but yeah, killer tremolo action on it. So this is bloody great album art. I do have a few of their other ones as well. They've got a shitload of demos as well that I don't like my chances of tracking down. I think I have one of I have like compilation-y kind of ones. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, I have a compilation CD or two of theirs, so yeah, sadly defunct now, but yeah, I mean, Mitch gets around. He's got plenty of different bands, so, and I always kind of like their logo. It's very evil looking. So yeah, this freaking killer. I was very happy to get this one, partly for the cover because I'm a sucker for cool cover art, but also it's a damn good album. And the final Aussie release that I got this month was Anoxia with their Revel in Sin album. This is, I think they're from Sydney, death metal band. And bloody damn fine one at that. They sound exactly like early 90s death metal. It's beautiful to behold, really. It actually reminds me of like Aussie death metal legends Misery quite a bit, especially I think the vocals. And honestly, for me, the vocals are the highlight on this. Dude's just got this deep, really powerful voice. And live, it's just like booming. It really does sound like a batch of bands that I saw in the early 90s from Melbourne that were just like, holy shit, how can you get that deep? So, yeah, very impressed by these guys. The music itself is just pretty straight. It's somewhat American sounding death metal, but damn fine by me. Their previous EP, Languish in Suffering, is pretty bloody killer as well. But yeah, I think it's Darker Forms of Knowledge is the kind of standout track on this one for me. Just killer groove to it. And one thing I really like on this is the snare sound. There's just this really thud sort of sound that's very satisfying, let's put it that way. I think the final track, Merciless Sins, a sort of, big epic kind of one with some cool bass noodling as well. So always happy with that. One thing I mark them down for is it does come with this obi strip, which is like a bottom obi strip for some reason. Oh well. Yeah, we'll live with that. What do you get? Lyrics, band stand around, uplit, looking evil. And yeah, probably the most offensive of the vinyls. Rogger, Look Away. Yeah. It's an interesting colour one. I think Simon from Explosive Action got the same one. Although one thing I'll whinge about is, I obviously haven't finished this. Like the very edge is like all sharp and jagged. It's like, none of my other records are sharp and jagged like that. I mean, it plays fine. It's not a problem on top of the record, but yeah, I think someone forgot to finish that one. But anyway, so yeah, this is killer death metal. As I said, live they rule as well. So if you get a chance to see them, I think I'll put a flyer up if their sort of gig with Ashen, who are touring soon. I think it's still yet to happen, but yeah, I've seen these guys a few times, and yeah, they go well live. So, and yeah, look at that cover art. Paulo Girardi at his best as usual. I think this is the only Paulo one I've got this month, but bloke's been busy. But yeah, that one I love it. It's like weird little explodey bits coming out. I don't know. That's cool as hell. So yeah, excellent Aussie death metal. All right, up next for a batch of CDs I got from Discogs, basically. First up, we have Agonized with Gods. This is a very old Finnish death metal band. This is their one and only demo from 1991. Nothing else. Somehow, I'd not heard it. I love old Finn death. I had not heard of these guys until Lockie from Contaminated mentioned them, I don't know, somewhere on Facebook, and I was like, oh, let's have a listen to that. Holy shit, let's buy that one. So yeah, that's why this is from Discogs. I just went, I need that bad. So this is thick as hell, Finn death, rumbling goodness, basically. So think, Abhorrence, early Amorphous, Ripiculo, Demolish sort of stuff. So yeah, exactly what I love. So ridiculously deep vocals. They do have some of those sort of breathy, Beherit sort of style bits occasionally as well. The only problem with this is it's not friggin' long enough. It's like 13 minutes, so you get an intro and outro, so there's only 4 songs on there, really. And this, I think this is another of the source bands for Funebrarum, much like Crematory. But yeah, there's a few riffs in this that I'm like, I think I've heard that one before somewhere, and probably after these guys wrote it. So this does have some faster sort of bits, but when they go slow, it's just super tough. So yeah, this is perfect for me. I love this a lot. This is Aphelion Productions, which is like a Scottish label, I think, that for some reason put out like Abscess, or I think it was Abscess stuff. So not really much to the booklet itself. No photos, no fancy liner notes. But I mean, hey, it's a band that did one demo, so there's probably not many more liner notes. So I don't know what happened to these guys, but I'm glad they did this, because this rules. All right, another Discogs one, and this one's just filling a gap. This is Cult de Ghoules with their Haxan album, or it also has a sub-name, Haxan, or Medieval Witchcraft and Infanticide. Ooh, that's a charmer. So yeah, this is a Polish black metal band, very odd sort of style. I rambled a lot about these guys in my Around the World challenge, so because yeah, I really like these guys, and this is their first album that I've had it digitally for years, but I realised I didn't actually own it, so this is just this is Under the Sign of Garazel, which is their Polish label that puts these sort of things out. I don't know if it's a band's label or who knows, but I think Hell's Headbangers did release this one as well. And yeah, freaking killer stuff. The vocalist is still the highlight on this for me. Just heaps of weird styles, sort of monk chants and crazed weirdness and just eccentric. It's a very theatrical band, I like to say, and I mean that in a good way. I do love his normal raspy voice as well. It's just, which is what he uses mostly, and yeah, they have a good sort of tribal feel to them in parts. Like I think it's the middle section or the slower sort of section of what is it, Baptized in Barren. It's just got this cool ass sort of thumping drums, and yeah, adds atmosphere. And that's the key thing that these guys have in spades, just atmosphere so much. This one, I don't know, I do prefer Henbane, the album after this. This one, the bass is very loud, at the expense of the guitars, unfortunately, which is a lot better balanced on Henbane onwards. So it is marginally distracting, I've got to say. But yeah, these are long, drawn-out sort of songs, so they're not for the short attention span folks by any means. I think the shortest song's like 9 minutes or something or other, so they're long. And I'm really not sure what's going on at the end of the last song. There's just like a woman screaming for a couple of minutes. I hope it's from a fictional movie. But yeah, as I said, atmosphere on this is just friggin' key. You get, cool booklet with lyrics and weird little witchy pictures and so on. So yeah, I think this might be good if you're a fan of Ride for Revenge or Mortuary Drape. If you haven't heard Cult to Ghoules, bloody check them out. I mean, as I said, Henbane's better than this one, I reckon, but this is pretty killer. Occasionally they do actually blast in this as well. It's mostly pretty slow paced, but this one has more faster bits than the later albums as well, which very powerful as well. So yeah, very happy to have this one on CD. This one will be getting spun a bit. All right, this next one is another gap filler that I don't know if there is actually a gap. I still swear I own this album. Well, I now own it again. So this is Rapture with Songs for the Withering. This is a Finnish doom band. I reckon this will show up at some point and I'll be like, nah, bloody idiot, you bought it twice. So if I do find my other copy, maybe I'll lend it to someone, but I don't know why, but I swear I had it. Anyway, so yeah, this is Finnish sort of melodic doom metal. Bit death doomy, I suppose. Has deep and sort of clean vocals on it. Their previous album, Futile, is one of my faves. That was on my Relapse video if you want to check that one out. More rambling about that. But this follows on from it pretty tightly, really. And you can't discuss these guys without mentioning Catatonia, really. Again, one of my favourite bands, but I do. They're like sort of disembowelment. I hear them in a lot of different bands, probably when they're not there, but they're definitely there in this one. So yeah, the first album, Futile, was like just Brave Murder Day worship totally, and as is this pretty much. There's a lot of Catatonia to this, bit of Paradise Lost as well, but I mean, hey, that's where Catatonia borrowed a lot of their style from anyway, so I'm really glad though. I mean, generally tribute sort of bands don't really grab me, but these guys, I don't know, they do it very well, and they do add a lot of their own. It's not exact sort of rip-off bits, but it's just using their format. And plus, it's a format that Catatonia didn't use enough. What do you get, like Brave Murder Day? I mean, the first album doesn't sound like Brave Murder Day. Obviously, what is it, Sounds of Decay or whatever that EP that's tacked onto it usually sounds a lot like it because it's also Ackerfeld singing. But after that, Discouraged Ones doesn't really sound that much like Brave Murder Day. So I love Discouraged Ones, but I wanted more Brave Murder Day. So with Rapture, you get it, that's for sure. But yeah, it's killer. Like the end of Gallows is just like, the second song, Gallows, just bleak lead work. That would probably have Black Eye Ring and his lawyer going, that sounds pretty similar. But then, yeah, Two Dead Names is this nice sort of mellow, clean vocally sort of one. And then the transition into Transfiction, which is a faster, harsher vocal one, is very effective, I've got to say. Just the lead guitars on this are just perfectly, ethereal, mournful sort of style. This seemingly does have a different harsh singer than the first album. Like the first album only has one vocalist that seemed to do both clean and harsh, and now he's the clean vocalist on this. I don't know why he didn't continue doing harsh stuff because he sounds great on the first album. So, and this does have a better sound than Futile, as does the third album. What is it, Silent Stage, which is freaking killer as well. But I do still prefer Futile, mainly because it's got the song The Fall, which is just beautiful, beautiful stuff. If you like melodic death doomy sort of stuff, this is friggin' mandatory. Sadly, they only have 3 albums. They're on hold at the moment on Metal Archives. I don't know what that really means. They probably don't know. Amusingly, this band has an old mate of mine, Ian, from Canberra, that moved to Finland, probably 20 years ago by now, but he was in Deviant Plan and a batch of other bands. But yeah, he plays bass in these guys, or did. I don't know if they're still going, so good on you, Ian. You're a legend. I don't think he's on any of these recordings, unfortunately, but he's a damn good bass player, so yeah, this stuff, mandatory. If you like old Catatonia, October Tide, or just melodic death doom in general, definitely check out Rapture. All right, next up is one that you'd recognise from my Peel Sessions video. This one's Electro Hippies with their Peel Session this is from like July 1987. I've got this one from Bad Habit Records. It has a bad habit of putting up really cool old grind stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I probably need that. And so yeah, I'm glad I grabbed this. As I said in my Peel Sessions one, I think this sounds better than most of their stuff. Like the album sounds great as well, but most of the songs on this are actually from their demos and so on. So this doesn't have Jeff Walker from Carcass singing on it. He obviously left just prior to this. But yeah, these songs freaking rip. I don't know, these guys are grind, but there's a lot of, I don't know, just hardcore punk music to it, and then it's weird little explosive bits of grind. So it's not all, hyper blast all the way through it. I mean, it's from 1987, so nothing was hyper blast all the way through it really back then. But yeah, this friggin' rules though. As you can tell, this is not particularly long. This does have their Mega Armageddon Death 1 second song at the end. I have always had this like a MP3 of this that God knows where it's from, and it actually had Peel, like John Peel, introducing the bits and just having a chuckle about some of the the song names and so on. This one even comes with the insert, which is pretty cool. Nothing super exciting on the record, except for the fact this is friggin' perfect condition. Like, not a hairline, not nothing. This is, I mean, this wasn't released in 1987, but it was, actually, maybe it was. It does have copyright 1987 on it, so this is not exactly young, that's for sure. And yeah, I'm very happy the record's in perfect nick. The cover, not so much, but oh well. Bit of glue will fix that one, so yeah. Electro Hippies, just, yeah, killer old British early grind, let's put it that way. This next one is an addition that I had to make for my quest to get the first 20 earache albums on record on original press, which is going along pretty well, but it's going to be tricky with Godflesh Street Cleaner. That one ain't cheap. There's a couple of other, I think maybe Left Hand Path maybe is not particularly cheap. These are albums that I already own, but I don't know, I just want to get it. So this one I already had on CD. This is Unseen Terror with Human Error. I mentioned this in my Peel Sessions one again, so complaining about the sound on this album. So yeah, as I said in that, the Peel Session is a much better sound, but this one has a shitload more tracks. So yeah, this is killer music, just let down by weird ass drum sound and very weird ass guitar sound. The guitars, as I think I mentioned in the Peel Sessions video, were plugged straight into the desk, or I don't know the technical side of it, but done poorly, so they have this odd sound. This is a prime example of an album that I'd like re-recorded. It's not a very common thing for me to say, but this one definitely. And the drums are sort of like electric V drums or whatever, and that just sound shit, basically. But as I said on that video, this is damn fine grind. This is so yeah, it's Mitch Dickinson, who was in Heresy for a while, and good old Shane Embry from Napalm Death and a ton of other bands, and Pete Giles, who doesn't actually record on this, was a bass player in these guys for a while, who I think was in Azagthoth with old mate Mitch. So it was an old death metal band of pre this and Napalm Death. So I keep meaning to track down that sort of bootleggy LP version of that. But yeah, this friggin' rules. I was happy to get this. So I got this from Searchers. Yeah, it wasn't particularly cheap, but yeah, well, this was bought with AdSense money, which is the money you get from YouTube for, so many views and so on. So thank you to all you wonderful viewers that have to put up with God knows what ads are put up on my videos. I don't know. I don't watch them on YouTube. I will watch it when I edit it. So yeah, thank you for that. So it's like every 4 months or something, I get like $100. So yeah, I'm not retiring anytime soon on my earnings. So I like to put it back into the buy more records. So this one, yeah, didn't take all that $100, but it took a good chunk of it. So yeah, but I was happy to get it. So this is Mosh number 4. Jesus. So damn fine nick. There's only one press of this, I think. Just black vinyl, nothing exciting. That's a quality picture of Shane there. Some reason this has got like, he's wearing a Garfield shirt and there's like three Garfield themed songs on here. I think it's one of those young, dumb and full of booze or God knows what. So yeah, why not? What the hell? But yeah, this is really intense grind. Bloody good album. Just as I said, let down by the sound. Shane was very quick on the blast. I mean, I know there are V drums on this, but on the Peel sessions, which is not bodgy bloody electric drums, he's very fast on that as well. So yeah, almost wasted on bass in Napalm. I wonder if he can still blast quite that fast. Who knows? So yeah, excellent bloody album, and just shit production. All right, and lastly are a batch of CDs that I got from Charnel Sanctum, excellent label from Queensland, I think. This is Immortalis with Indicium de Mortius. So this is a German death metal band, or was. This is their only album from 1991. This is a compilation. I think you get like a demo on this as well, and maybe like a bonus track or something or other. So no liner notes or nothing, just pictures of the band looking young and some track listings. So it's fine by me. Honestly, I should have listened to this more. I have listened to it a few times, but usually when I'm like going to sleep, and it's effective sleep music, put it that way. But this is sort of kind of slightly thrashy death metal. It's not, horrible, really detuned, ridiculous stuff, but what I can vaguely recall from it's pretty good. So yeah, it does have a Venom cover on it as well, of Countess Bathory. Can't go wrong with that song. So yeah, I probably need to listen to this one a few more times. Sounded pretty good. So, but yeah, I saw it on their list and went, death metal from Germany? Why not? What the hell? Now, good old Charnel Sanctum threw in a few cool things as well, usual little flyers and so on, including like a flyer from some gig in Los Angeles, and Nunslaughter, a little ad, and also a page from what I assume is the Necronomicon. It's got the 8th name is Nal Namtilaku, and I'm not going to try and pronounce that one. Don't know if that's in focus or not. It's about like 30 letters long. So thanks, Carl. Love your work. He did throw in a couple of freebies, which I was always appreciated. First one is Necromancy with Visions of Lunacy. So this is actually released by Charnel Sanctum. I was thinking of buying this myself, but so this is a demo from 1989. This is like Greek band with Magus Vampire, whatever his name is, from Necromancer on bass. I think some of these guys, I can't remember what other band they went into, but yeah, so this is a recent Charnel Sanctum reissue of this demo. Sounds pretty bloody good, actually. It's, got a little write-up from Magus himself, from 2021. Does he mention the other band? No. I think he left and formed Necromancer, but I don't know about the other dudes. Probably in Rotting Christ over the years, who knows? So yeah, I quite enjoyed this actually. It is very demo-y from 1989. It takes a bit to get your ears used to it, and strangely, with with a lot of demos from those days, the drums suffer, and you can, they're like slight tapping in the background. In this, they sound awesome. I don't know why. Obviously, it's Magus, so the bass is pretty loud as well, but the solos on this are, not that tight, let's put it that way. There is a Sodom cover. They do Outbreak of Evil, which, I don't know, I forgot to listen to the original one to work out if there was a similarly wild solo. I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, it's noticeable, let's just put it that way. So, yeah, if you like old Greek sort of black metal, death metal-y sort of stuff, then, yeah, Necromancy, can't go wrong. Carl, nice man that he is, threw in this one for free. This is Cranioracostisis. Oh, I think I got it right that time. The sixth take trying to pronounce that stupid album or band name. Yeah, I'm not showing the cover for long because, it's not very pleasant. Let's put it that way. So this is a Estonian gore noise band. This is their album from 2018. Who I'd not heard of before. This is a self-titled album. I'll put links to all this below if you're really interested. So, as I said, gore noise. On Discogs, it's got like genre jazz and rock, and then style noisecore, gore grind, somewhat fitting, and then free jazz. I'm like, if that's what free jazz sounds like, sign me up. Yeah, this is interesting stuff. This is a one-man band. The bloke's also in like Balzabub, which is a brutal death metal band, and Goat Smegma, which is a black death band. But yeah, this is his gore noise band, and yeah, it lives up to the name gore noise. It's like total trash can drums and just blur everything. Just, yeah, it's gore noise. But the highlight for me are the vocals. They're just insane and so ridiculously over the top. I don't know, he's got some weird like Doctor Who sounding effects on them or something or other. It's just, it's all pitch shifted horrible, but then there's just weird like up and down bits. I don't know what he did on it, but it's very impressive. Easily the highlight, like, there's, barely any discernible sort of riffs. It's just like, trash can drums, blur noise, and crazed weird ass vocals that are even weirder than the usual pitch shifted horribleness. So thanks, Carl. You know my taste very well. I put this one on in the car on the drive to camera and went, holy shit, what is going on here? Very happy with that, and not so happy with all the lovely pictures on the cover that you won't be seeing again. So thanks, Carl. Bloody awesome. And last and probably least really, good old AC with their caring about anything is gay. Although it's actually misspelled. It's caring about anything is gay. 2 R's. This came out on Ha Ha Heart Attack Records from God knows where. I think this is listed as an unofficial one on Discogs. This is a compilation of charming AC songs, sort of later era stuff mostly. You get tracks from the Defenders of the Hate 7-inch, which I already own. A couple of tracks from the Thrash of the Titans compilation that I didn't know existed. A couple of tracks from the split with Flackenbrand, or whatever their name is. A couple of songs from the quality compilation 15 Bands Who Think You're Gay. I'm pretty sure I bought that for Mark once. And also, batch of songs from their Wearing Out Your Welcome, which I think was like a live recorded one. That one's got Tim Morse on it, like their old drummer. That's sort of smashed out. And then the couple of tracks from the split with Raunchous Brothers, which is also misspelled, I think. And the last song is the Howard is Bald 7-inch, which is a pretty rare one to get, and actually is the highlight on this really. So honestly, their later stuff doesn't grab me as much. It's too serious. It's too normal almost. It's just grind with, him singing, screaming away, no growling sort of stuff, no 1 2 1 2 blah bits, which is the highlight, no sort of just non-riffs that the older guitarist just did just, it's too serious. As I said, the Howard is Bald track, which is much older, I think that's from like, I don't know, 90s or something or other. 95. That one is great. It's just taking the piss out of some guy that worked for Relapse Records, I think, who was obviously balding, probably, poor Howard. It's sort of old style and just hilariously ridiculous. Them singing half sort of songs. Actually, that one, that's right. That's the one that's recorded it's obviously Seth just playing songs on like a tape deck or something or other and then singing over the top of it ridiculous stuff. So there's like, actual Bee Gees music, and which is probably why this is unofficial and probably why the original one was not released in large amounts. So yeah, it's ridiculous and thus, of course, much better. I mean, all the other ones, the newer ones obviously have highly offensive song titles. There's no lyrics in here, which is kind of good actually. I remember being marginally disappointed with later AC stuff when I finally read the lyrics. It's like, yeah, very offensive song titles, and the lyrics are just, I don't know, lackluster. Just, yeah. But yeah, this one has some charming ones. Towards the end, he was getting pretty good. I still love the one. It's such a ridiculous song as I went back in time and voted for Hitler. It's just so, I don't know. I know the AC are a ridiculously offensive band, and at this point it was, they probably were really racist dickheads, but it's sort of art almost. I know that's probably not the best way of putting it, but yeah, the over the top ridiculousness just makes me laugh so much. So I assume the cover art appears to be by Sean Lynham, who did, I Like It When You Die, and It Just Gets Worse. I'm assuming he's the the brother of the drummer, Nate Lynham, who's actually on batch of the tracks on this. I don't know. Could be wrong. Maybe they just have the same surname. So, yeah, this is stupid cover as well. So, it's AC. You know how ridiculous it is. So, it's kind of good to have that. I don't know how much I'll be listening to it because, as I said, the later era stuff doesn't grab me as much. But How Does Ball? Well worth it for that. So that was everything that arrived in September. Hope you enjoyed that one. As usual, links to all the bands and actually all the shops where I bought these from are below. So yeah, get clicking. I don't know what my next video will be, but yeah, lots of music still to listen to. October arrivals are, there's only a couple so far, but it is only like the 6th, so plenty more time to buy, plenty more stuff. So anyway, thanks again for watching. See you again soon. Cheers.